Oh, hello students. The other day in the last module, we were talking about wands and we started talking about the different tools and accoutrements used in the trade. And today we're going to be talking about the pentagram. The pentagram is a five-pointed star with a circle around it. Many witches wear this symbol for protection. You might choose to display one on the door to your home or place your business as a safeguard. Keep a pentagram in your car and on your altar. Draw them on paper and slip them into mojo or medicine pouches to make amulets. Carve the pentagram into candles and burn them during spell work. In circle casting, you can trace pentagrams in the air or in the ground at the four directions to ensure safety. As we will see later on Module 11, many of the protection spells we use pentagrams. So what is important is also how to choose a pentagram. So the pentagram, as you can see here, represents the earth element and is linked with the feminine force. Consequently, you might like to have a pentagram made of silver, which is a metal ruled by the moon, or copper, which is ruled by Venus. Perhaps you like to decorate your pentagram with crystals or gemstones, especially if you plan to wear it as a piece of jewelry. No material is right, wrong, better or worse. It really depends on how you intend to use the pentagram. Although you will probably only use one magic wand, you can have as many pentagrams as you want. You might like one made of ceramic, glass or wood on which to serve food during rituals, perhaps decorated with the astrological glyphs or signs for the earth sign, such as Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. If you're handy, you can embroider pentagrams on ritual clothing. If you plan to hang a pentagram outside, make sure it can withstand weather conditions. Display your pentagram with one point up, two down, and two out on the sides. Now, charging and choosing your pentagram. As we discussed earlier, the ritual of charging your tools empowers them and transforms them into magical instruments. Consider the act of charging your pentagram as a spell and do it with the appropriate intent. You may choose to create an intricate ritual to charge it or keep it simple. Here are some suggestions. I really like to mix the pentagram with flower water made with carnations, snapdragon, geranium, and Athame petals. Make sure that if your pentagram is made of metal, pat it dry to prevent tarnishing. Anoint it with essential oils like amber, basil, pine, and fennel. Bury it in the air for a period of time, perhaps a week. Lay it on your altar and place crystals at each of the 5 points in the center. Chant an incantation you compose for this purpose, or let it sit in the moonlight overnight. Clearly and with authority, instruct your pentagram to do your bidding. Command it to work with you and only you. Point it towards the north and invite the energy of earth to enter it. Breathe your own energy into the pentagram to bring it to life. When you finish, say aloud, "So mote it be." Now let's talk about a misunderstood sometimes tool which is called Athame. The origins of the word Athame have been lost to history. Some people speculate that it might have come from the Key of Solomon, Clavicula Salomonis, which was published in 1572, and which refers to the knife as the Athame. Athame may have been a subverted form of this term. Another theory proposes that Athame derives from the Arabic word al-Hame, which means blood letter, a sacred knife in the Moorish tradition. In either case, manuscripts dating back to the 1200s imply the use of ritual knives in magic work. The Athame's main purpose is to symbolically clear negative energies from the space you'll do spell working. You can also slice through obstacles or sever bonds with it, again symbolically. It doesn't need to be sharp. As a matter of fact, most Athames are not sharp. So you won't be chopping veggies with it. So some Wiccans and witches like to cast a circle with an Athame instead of a wand. Now, choosing your Athame. The ritual dagger is usually a double-edged knife about 4 to 6 inches long. Some Wiccans, however, prefer crescent-shaped Athames that represent the moon. Most Athames are made of metal, but yours can be crystal, glass, or any other material. An ordinary kitchen knife will work too. If you like something more elegant, choose one that's adorned with crystals or gemstones. Because this tool symbolizes the air element, consider stones associated with air such as aquamarine, fluorite, or clear quartz. If you decide to purchase a vintage dagger for your magic work, make sure it hasn't drawn blood in the past. Some magicians believe that an Athame used to physically harm another will never again be functional in magic, although in ancient times witches often fed special knives by rubbing them with blood. Now, charging your Athame. Before you use your Athame in spell work, charge it to make it truly yours and to imbue it with magical power. Remember, this is a spell in itself, so approach the process accordingly. How you go about charging your Athame is up to you. You can simply command it to do your will, or design a ritual with all sorts of bells and whistles. Here are some possibilities. You probably heard them before for other tools. Hold it on a smoke of burning incense. Anoint it with essential oils such as carnation, lavender, or ginger. Attach feathers to its hilt, or decorate the hilt with the astrological glyphs from the earth signs like Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Tie yellow light blue ribbons on it. Recite a prayer or incantation with each note. Play flute music, ring a bell, or place your Athame near wind chimes to receive the sounds. Clearly and with authority, instruct your Athame to do your bidding. Command it to work with you and only you, and point it towards the east, and invite the energy of air to enter it. Breathe your own energy into the Athame to bring it to life, and when you're finished, say aloud, "So mote it be." Now, a beautiful tool, very used on rituals, choosing your chalice. The fourth major tool in the witch's toolkit is the chalice, which symbolizes the element of water. During rituals and rites, witches often drink ceremonial beverages from a chalice. Many chalices feature long stems so they can be passed easily from hand to hand. Sharing the cup with coven members or spellworkers signifies connectedness and unity of purpose. You may choose to drink magic potions you concocted from your chalice. Spellworkers also serve magical elixirs from healing and other purposes in a special chalice. Of course, as you can see here, very popular movie with Indiana Jones, in which he was looking for the most famous chalice of all, which is the Holy Grail. The Grail myths embody far more information than we can go into here, but you may wish to examine them to gain a greater understanding of the magical meaning of the chalice. Shaped like the womb, the chalice represents feminine fertility and power, creativity in the larger sense. This potent vessel holds the waters of life and nurtures the imagination that births all things in the manifest world. Choosing your chalice. Your chalice is a sacred vessel from which you will sip magical potions and ceremonial beverages. As such, it should be reserved for these special occasions. For example, don't drink Coke from it at lunchtime. I think that's common sense. Depending on your preferences, your chalice may be simple or ornate. Some people choose chalices made of silver because silver is a metal ruled by the moon and the chalice is a feminine tool. Others prefer crystal, colored glass, or ceramic chalices. The choice is yours. You could even use an ordinary water glass or coffee cup, but that might not be quite as much fun. The beauty of the chalice, the way it feels in your hand, and the sound it makes when you clink to another chalice in a toast all contribute to the experience. In Module 5, we talk about Japanese scientist Masaru Emoto's work with imprinting water with words. Because the liquids that go into your chalice will absorb the energy of whatever images are on the vessel, it's best to choose a plain chalice without pictures, words, or patterns, as those may affect your spells. If you wish, you can decorate your chalice with temporary images that relate to your intentions for the spell, and remove those images when you finish. Charging your chalice. Until you charge your chalice, it's just an ordinary vessel. Once you imbue it with your magical energy, it becomes your own grail. The ritual you enact to charge your chalice may be simple or complex, depending on your preferences. I charge my chalice by submerging it in a sacred pool for a lunar month. Because this tool symbolizes the element of water, many magicians choose to charge it with water or another liquid. Here are some suggestions. Spritz it with the flower water, like we said before. You can do jasmine, rose, lotus, or gardenia blossoms. You can spring with holy water from a well, or a spring, or a lake that holds a special meaning for you. You can nestle the chalice in a bed of white rose petals and leave it overnight. You can anoint it on the outside with essential oils. You can paint your chalice with astrological glyphs for Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Place a piece of rose quartz, amethyst, moonstone, or a pearl in the chalice and fill it with the spring water. Let it sit overnight, then remove the gem, and either drink the water or pour it into a clear glass jar for use later. You can also use a singing bowl near the chalice to infuse it with positive vibrations. Singing bowls are usually made of metal or crystal, and they have different musical tones. You strike them or run a mallet around it to the rim to create sound, which can be used for meditation, healing, or other purposes. Clearly and with authority, instruct your chalice to do your bidding. Command it to work with you and only you. Hold it so that the bowl of the chalice faces west, and invite the energy of water to enter it. Breathe your own energy into the chalice to bring it to life. And when you finish, state aloud, "So mote it be." Now let's talk about an unusual tool that might not be used for ritual, but that some people use in readings, which is called the tarot. You can see these four main tools illustrated in the beautiful oracle known as the tarot. We will talk more about this later on other modules. Each suit on the deck of cards is named for one of the tools: wands, sometimes called rods or staves; swords or daggers, meaning athames; cups or chalices; and pentacles or pentagrams, sometimes called coins or discs. As such, they describe fundamental life energies and ways of interacting with the world. Thank you for joining me today, learning more about the tools of the trade. In the next module, we're going to be talking more about candles, incense, essential oils, the cauldron, and how to do spell battles or other tools, like ribbons and ropes. Thank you so much, and I see you in the next module.